Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm here with my baby boy. We've been playing on his playmat because that's just the easiest thing to do when I film these videos. But I'm going to be giving you his 3-month update. And I feel like I need to kind of explain how I do his updates because I feel like people just do them differently. Currently, he is just over 3 months old. So the way that I do his updates are kind of like what he has accomplished leading up to this month, if that makes sense. So I'll be telling you what happened between months 2 and 3. That is just how I've been doing his monthly updates. So I'm going to continue to do them this way. And it's kind of interesting for me to look back in my notes now that he is over 3 months and I took a little bit longer to film this. And I feel like so much has happened past this point. So it'll be fun for me to look back and see like where he came from. So 3-month update. First thing I have on here is he started cooing. He was making a lot more noise, starting to find his voice a little bit, which was really cute. I put that he can roll from his back to his belly and his belly to his back. At this point in time, when I'd written this down, he had only done it once, both times. So it was like he could do it, but was it a fluke? Did he like do it accidentally or whatever? But it did happen. He did roll both directions. He's rolling a lot more now, but I'll get into that in the next month. He's a lot more interactive with his smiles. He'll smile like super big, which is kind of something that he's always done. But you can tell like he's just really into what you're saying, and you can talk to him and he smiles really big, or he'll see something that he likes and he'll smile really big, and it's just really cute to see. We can kind of figure out now like what makes him smile. So that's been a fun change. At this point, he is wearing 3 to 6 month clothes and 6-month clothing. I don't know how much he weighs. I don't have a scale for babies here. I know that you can like weigh yourself holding your baby and then just subtract what you weigh, but I haven't tried that yet. And he doesn't go back to the doctor until he's 4 months, so I will know how much he weighs by then, but right now I have no idea. I know that he's gained weight and he was 13 or 14 pounds when he was 2 months old, so I know that he's more than that. But yeah, he's wearing 3 to 6 and 6-month clothing right now, mostly because he's so long, and a lot of the onesies that are like on the smaller end, like towards his age, don't fit him because he's so tall, and they just like get really tight up at the crotch area. At this point, he is waking up once in the middle of the night, which I feel like is pretty good. It's a huge accomplishment from when he used to eat every 2 hours and just wake up constantly throughout the night every 2 hours. That was absolutely miserable. Even just waking up every 3 hours is not super fun for us, but it seems like the first stretch is the longest. So he will sleep all the way till 2 or 3 in the morning, eat, go back to sleep for a few more hours, and then wake up for the day. And he does really well with eating in the middle of the night and going straight back to sleep. So that is a blessing. At this point, the witching hour is completely gone. I know I've talked about this in past updates. He had a horrible witching hour right around bedtime where he would just get like extremely overtired, inconsolable. We could not get him to go to sleep. We couldn't get him to eat. We couldn't get him to do anything. He would just cry and cry and cry. We couldn't do anything about it. It was just awful. Now the challenge is keeping him awake, and he will cry for that reason, but he's on more of like a bedtime schedule now. So when he eats his last bottle around 7:30, 8:30, somewhere around that time frame, then he will go to sleep for the long stretch. If we don't do that, if we skip his last bottle, he will wake up in a couple of hours. So we know that we want him to stay awake until that last bottle. That seems to be what's working best, but sometimes he does get really mad at us and wants to go to sleep. He will scream at us until we let him do that. And sometimes it's even hard to get him to eat the bottle. He's so tired, but this is what's worked for us. We torture him for a little bit so we don't torture everybody else, including himself, throughout the night, because everyone just gets better sleep and it's just better for everybody. He loves his passy even more now. He's become pretty dependent on it. He cannot go to sleep without it most of the time. Even if we just like touch his lips with it, or he's just like biting it or something, anything, as long as he has it near him, touching him, when he's like really tired, then he'll pass out. A lot of times he wants to actually suck on it to go to sleep, but like when he's super tired and really needs to go to sleep, it can just be touching him and he'll be fine with that. And he's still using the Dr. Brown's passies. He was going back and forth between the Nook ones and the Dr. Brown's ones. Started out with Dr. Brown's, moved on to Nook, and now he's back to Dr. Brown's. And it's the same as his bottles, so he just kind of knows how they work. But yeah, those are his favorites right now. He absolutely loves his cheeks being rubbed. Like you just put your finger on it and he'll he'll smile and get like really happy, or sometimes it'll calm him down if he's crying. You just touch his face in some way. He absolutely loves it. Sometimes I'll use my hair and like tickle his face with it, and he's just like so happy. So sometimes I'll just give him little like face massages and everything, and he just loves it. It's so cute to see. So I put teething with a bunch of question marks because I wasn't sure. Now I'm sure, but he's definitely teething, and I do feel like my other two kids were teething this early on. Obviously, it takes a while for the teeth to actually show up from this point, but they started showing signs of it early on, and Micah is definitely showing those signs right now. He's been drooling a lot more. He's munching on things. There's not been a lot of pain symptoms, I don't think. I think there was one day where he was just like in pain, but it was kind of hard to tell. But the teething symptoms are definitely showing up, and will probably stick around for the next like 3 or 4 months before he actually starts sprouting teeth. My other two grew teeth at about 6 months, so if he's on track with them, that's what I'm expecting from him too. He does this thing now where he looks from side to side constantly. I don't know if that's normal. I don't remember if my other two kids did it, but he, like, if we're holding him sometimes and there's a lot going on, he will just like constantly look. It's like the same little rhythm that he does it with. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's like he's taking everything in, but there's like a rhythm to it, if that makes sense. It's not like he's just looking this way and then something happens and he's looking the other way. No, it's like a constant back and forth thing. Let me know if your babies did that, or if you remember if your babies did that or not, because I'm curious to know. I've never really noticed that with my other two, so I'm just curious to know if that's like a normal thing for babies to do. So I put that he was up to 6 ounces with his eating, but that's actually not the case. There's been a couple of days where he will consistently eat 6 ounces at a time, but most of the time it's still 4. I think there was like a growth spurt or something happening. There's only been like 2 or 3 days where he's eaten 6 ounces consistently all day. He is back to 4 right now, as he is just over 3 months. So he's not quite up to 6 ounces consistently, but every now and then he'll do that. He's starting to put everything in his mouth, like on purpose. You know, like babies will just kind of like look for things, like put their hands in their mouth, like on accident, or, you know, I can't really explain it. But I'll put something in his hand and he will bring it to his mouth because he knows something is there. I feel like before he didn't really know what was going on, and he would put things in his mouth, but it wasn't really like a conscious decision to do that. I don't really know if I'm explaining that super well, but I just feel like he makes more of an effort to grab things and put them in his mouth. And at this point in time, he is so close to laughing. It's like right there. I think my husband has gotten him to do a little giggle, but other than that, there's not been full on laughing, but he is so close, and I'm so excited for that to happen because baby laughs is just the cutest thing in the world. Right now I'm okay with like his coos and his talking, but I really want a laugh. So that's all I have for his update. I feel like it was kind of short, but not too much happened. He's kind of getting mad at me right now, so I kind of need to finish up. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.